Hi, this is the blog and the video log for Zimmer and Peacock for our news for the week starting the 28th of September 2020. So every week we just do a sort of summary of the sort of last 7 days. So one of the summaries for this week is we had a blog item out there that said we said and we did it, which is basically announcing that we have officially opened up our London lab. We're actually really delighted that this lab is actually really in the centre of London, not on the peripherals, but really quite near to the centre of London. So what I would ask is, if you're kind of interested in finding out about that, take a look at our news section on our website this week. So Zimmer Peacock, we've been talking about it for a while and sort of building up to it, but we've taken hold of the keys for a laboratory in London. And that's our kind of first lab in London. We do have one in the UK already, but we really wanted to kind of have a presence in the capital city because in normal times, so many people are traveling back and forth into London, so we have scientists and, business guys who all want to kind of meet with us and sort of get a sense of us. And so we thought, right, it's time to get a lab in London. We are also having a lot of inquiries from students who are quite interested in doing placements with us, maybe doing their masters with us. So if you're one of these kind of guys and you fancy doing some really good engineering and science and you really like the idea of London, then it's probably worth contacting us at Zimmer and Peacock. So that was one of the announcements that we made this week. We also announced that we're going to be speaking on the 22nd of October at an online meeting called Sensors in Medicine. The title of our talk will be Wearable Sensors from Wire to Needle to Sweat. So at Zimmer and Peacock, we have wire sensors for things like lactate and glucose. We have needle sensors for things like lactate and glucose. And we also have our sensors for things like lactate and glucose that work in sweat. So we have a lot of biosensors that are in a wearable format, and we're going to be talking about that on the 22nd of October. We're also going to include a live demo. Now, we've only got 20 minutes, so it's going to be a really detailed, information-packed, let's say, talk on that online conference. So check out Sensors in Medicine. Now, other news from Zimmer People this week. It's been quite a busy week for us, so there's quite a bit to get through. We also put a picture up there this week of shipping client biosensors. So at Zimmer and Peacock, we do a lot of contract development and manufacturing. If you follow our YouTube channel and our blog, you kind of see us talking away. But there's a lot of activity going on in Norway. Some of you are kind of a bit familiar with the company. Probably at this point don't realize the depth of the company, that we've got to kind of 40 people. So this is a picture of Anna and Tue and Christopher and Trin. And this is part of a team that just recently delivered some biosensors for a really good client of ours, some really active entrepreneurial types. So we were delighted to deliver their sensors, and the team were pleased because in less than a year, they've kind of gone from concept to shipping these really quite good biosensors. So we were proud of ourselves and proud of the client as well. For the work that's been done in that time. So that was something that we shipped this week, and the guys were so pleased they took a picture of themselves and we put it on the blog. Also, we have a sister company that's just launched called Massius Sensors. So Massius Sensors is run by an entrepreneur who is originally Spanish, and so Massius Sensors will kind of focus on the Spanish-speaking market for us. So we're delighted to launch that company. So if you have a look at Massius Sensors, then you'll get a sense of that company there. So we're delighted to bring Massius Sensors on board. Something on a technical note, we've also launched some NADH sensors. So NADH, so if you have a enzyme called a dehydrogenase, then it often has a cofactor called NAD+, and NAD+ reacts with reacts with the dehydrogenase enzyme and becomes NADH. An example would be phenylalanine has a dehydrogenase enzyme, and ketones have a dehydrogenase enzyme. So there's a lot of small molecules which have an enzyme for them, but the enzyme actually uses a molecule called NAD+, which becomes NADH when it reacts with the enzyme and with a small molecule. And so we've made an electrode that's specifically sensitive to NADH. So if you want to find out about that, you can click on the website and find out about that. We also put out a couple of fun things this week. So we've got a new kit out where it's 10 glucose sensors and 2 calibration solutions. And when it's used in conjunction with one of our partners, electronics, you can actually measure the glucose on a Android phone. And so in one of our videos, Andre shows how to record the glucose on the glucose rather than a Diet Coke. So if you're able to watch online, you'll see that he puts some Coke into a little beaker and he measures the Coke in real time, and then he changes over to another beaker, and then the signal jumps up because basically the sensor is glucose sensitive, and when you go from Diet Coke or Coca-Cola Zero to normal Coke or real Coke, then we get an increase in signal because there's glucose in there. So we had a little video up on YouTube about that. And then we also had another video where rather than talking about Coke and normal Coke and Diet Coke, we just had glucose solutions. And Andre did a similar sort of video on YouTube regarding that as well, where he sort of showed he showed the kit. So the kit had 2 solutions in it, 20 millimolar glucose and 0 millimolar glucose. He showed the Android with the electronics and one of our glucose sensors in there. And then he was discussing how he was pipetting solutions onto the sensors. And when he put on the glucose, you get this very sort of sudden jump in signal. And that was due to the glucose reacting with the enzyme and giving us an increase in signal. So that was pretty cool. And then the last thing I just want to cover this week is we obviously have this YouTube channel, and the fact that many of you are subscribed to our YouTube channel or you listen to our podcast, we do appreciate it. And it's probably just worth just noting that just subscribe, because we put out, this week I think we put out about 5 videos, and most of them have, I think all of them have a technical content. So we try to put out some technically useful information. So I would just say just subscribe to it, so then when we do post, you know about it and you can quickly watch it and find out maybe some interesting information about biosensors and in vitro diagnostics. So if you have any questions regarding Zimmer Peacock, please contact us. Thank you once again. I know there's a small core of you that watch our video log every week and listen to our podcast, and it is appreciated. All right, thanks guys.